We have wrapped the first leg of the last doubleheader of the season yesterday night, and this afternoon, we finish it off. It's the Prismriver Guitars 220 at the Nashville Superspeedway. Let's just hop right into it because morning qualifying saw Corbin Dempsey and Rebecca Pellerin take the front row. A great result considering the top two in the championship is starting deep in the field. Luke Pellerin is ranked in 16th. Charlie Faulkner is starting 25th. While you see there, the biggest surprise is Ronnie Samples and Kate Taylor, two guys that we associate with short tracks, both making it into Road 2, while Joey Thorkson, a guy that we do associate with super speedways, making it into another top 5 start, sharing Road 3 with Ryan Faulkner, while Lee Schmidt and Caitlin Richler closed the top 8. The Nashville Superspeedway is about 1 mile and a third long. It is moderately banked, only 14 degrees on the turns, 9 on the tri-oval, 6 on the back straightaway. That's actually a little bit less than what the Fairgrounds short track has in banking. And it is concrete surfaced, which is not very usual for a track this size. Out of the top of my mind, I think the only track in America with that type of surface is Dover, and Dover is shorter than Nashville, which leads to some very interesting racing and tire wear, and that will factor directly in this race because this is a 100 lap event. So while the race title says 220, let Uncle Eric tell you a thing, this race is actually 214 kilometers, 133 miles. All 39 cars that qualified will start this race, and while we expect the fuel window to be 75 laps at the most, they're probably gonna pit a little bit before that because of the tires, because of the surface, and because of the weather, which is pretty good. It is fairly colder. It's why this race was set for the start of fall. Summers tend to be pretty hot down south, and getting people by the heat stroke here in Nashville would not be advisable. But the weather is also gonna do a number on the tires. Anyway, let's get to the race. Leading the field to the green is Corbin Dempsey, and he has a very solid start against Becky Pellerin. He already gets the nose way far ahead. Ronnie Samples making a move on the inside, trying to already steal the second place. Joey Thorkson trying to steal third right there. And they're almost side by side, forcing a 3-wide battle for the first position. Megan McDonald around Nathan Collins, and that's everybody in front of the field. Luke Pellerin and Charlie Faulkner get together. Kristen Young gets there. Charlie Faulkner's around. Your championship top two's around. Peter Johnson hits the 85. The 88 hits the 85. The 85's upside down. Big one early. Your championship leader is upside down, and your second place in the championship has so much damage. I think he's done for the afternoon too. Big crash. Multiple cars involved. A huge one to start the race here in Nashville. Let's see what happens. Chris Benson almost in a 4-wide with Megan McDonald. Tags her. She gets tagged by the 99 in front of the field. Shelly Richardson, Carly Allison, Luke Calhoun involved. Steve Garrett misses by a whisker. You see there how Sean Smith gets together. The red flag is out. We're gonna have to look at this one like it is disaster footage. You see how the 88 tried to find a hole, and that hole was closed by the 85. You see there, absolutely nothing Bud Abbott could have done there on the inside. Benson tried to force the 3-wide early as the field spread away. Vernon Hargrove was deep on the outside. The 34 got tagged, and nothing anyone could have done from further behind. They could have slowed down and tried to dodge, and not everyone could have done it. You see there how the 34 wipes out the 88. The 88 still saves it, tries to drive away, gets hit by somebody there. I don't know who it is. As he loops it back around, he tries to find a hole, he tries to shift the line, and the 85 just spins right into him. Nothing Luke Pellerin could have done, nothing Charlie Faulkner could have done. We're gonna ride with Charlie Faulkner now. Charlie Faulkner chasing down Kristen Young. He goes to the inside. He starts missing it. Then the 88 just swerves back into his path, trying to save his own control. And then he gets tagged by the 33. Until then, he was fine. He was still fine. And then the 88 has nowhere to go. That's another camera. Now, how many cameras have we lost this season? Oh my god. Let's ride with yesterday night's winner, Ashley Richardson. She tries to miss it, and then she gets hit from behind, I believe, by the 39. The 30 from Zach Tech gets involved, so Zach Tech's having a complete dud of a weekend. You see there how the 97 Tammy Barrington cannot miss it. The rookie challenge leader in trouble already. Kendra Brittany misses that, misses this, and she's gonna miss almost everything. She also gets involved, tags the 33. She's also with a lot of damage. Let's look at what happened there. You see how the 8 gets into the back of the 34. The 34 has nowhere to go aside from the front of the 99. Gets tagged by the 16, gets the 88 involved. The 97 gets a piece of it. The 58 tries to slow down. You're gonna see that happens. She actually gets hit and gets involved further. The 88 swerves. When he tries to swerve back, he gets hit by the 85. The 85 tags the 33. The 33 slides off the wall, tags the 85 back because she has no control. 26 hits the 33, and the 85 goes around. By the time the 88 saves it, by the time the 88 saves it, the 85 gets hit by the 69, and then the hole closes, and the 88 hits the passenger side of the 85, sends him upside down. The 39 gets involved. We're gonna ride with Mac Hanley. Mac Hanley there on the outside as high as he can go. He slows down, and he almost misses it. Gets a little bit of side damage, but mostly he does miss what he could have missed, but not a lot he could have done otherwise, as he slows down again and almost hits the upside down 85. Another, but here's the thing. Only Sean Smith, Luke Pellerin, Charlie Faulkner, Mike Dixon, and Steve Garrett Jr. retired. You see there, the 26 has no front end anymore. The 16 has a lot of damage. I think there's another car right behind Kendra Brittany that also has no front end anymore. Peter Johnson also has no front end anymore. Ethan Collins has a lot of side damage. Ashley Richardson has a lot of rear end damage. The 34 has also a lot of rear end damage. Likewise, 59 and 33. But those 5 are the only ones that retired until the 0 of Joey Torkson has an engine problem. The gearbox in that car breaks. He was running in second. He's gonna be done for the day. 6 laps in, he goes to the pits as the pace car is rolling about as we await cleanup. And aside from the red flag, then that places Ryan Faulkner in a very good position, Corbin Dempsey in a fantastic position, Lucy Barton as well, as we got 1 lap to the restart. And it's mostly because now the top 2's done, so the championship now is blown wide open by this, and we get the restart on lap number 8. Corbin Dempsey is still your leader. The green flag's out and he has a terrible restart. Ryan Faulkner already takes the lead early, being chased down by Becky Pellerin on the outside, but Becky is not gonna have enough, does she? Does not. She does not. Charlie Faulkner holds the 2nd position as we look further back to see how the field splits after this first lap of green flag racing. Allison Smith running right now in the 21st position, battling with the frontless 26, the NAAC modified 26. As the 69, that's also an NAAC modified, has dropped further behind. Vern Hargrove has used this chaos to find himself 15th place, battling with Hibiki Murata and Joey Anderson. Joey Anderson actually is one of the few drivers that has driven here on the Nashville Superspeedway on the Champ Car Series. Lucy Barton running in 3rd place right now, trying to chase down Corbin Dempsey, but she cannot, and she's actually falling under attack from the 27. Ronnie Samples and Riley McKee running solidly there, 5th and 6th. Chris Benson, after that, causing that mess, not intentionally, but he still caused it, running inside the top 10 as well, together with Thomas Tucker and Caitlin Richler. You see there by lap number 11, Corbin Dempsey finally gets the run to make the move on the inside of the 89. He makes it look easy. Outbreaks the, for lack of a better term, he outbreaks the 89 on the corner, and Lucy Barton and Rebecca Pellerin just say, don't mind if I do, and make the move for 2nd place. Becky Pellerin unable to nail it just yet. The 89 gets a little bit of the draft on the exit of the corner from the 98, is gonna hold on to the 3rd position. This is what Corbin Dempsey wants to see right now early. Those 3 battling for the 2nd spot, not threatening him, at least for the moment. As you see there, how Boyd Abbott running in 32nd place. He had an engine problem on the restart. Dirk Williamson just hanging about, doing the same thing he did in Dover. He has damage, then he's just gonna run until the finish, see if he can steal any positions that may appear. Warren Majeski missed the crash, finds himself in the 20th position, having a very solid run. Chris Endicott and Scott Overton, 2 cars that have been better on the short tracks, running there in 21st. 22nd, Kendra Brittany in the modified, running 24th with Allison Smith, Carly Ellison, Lucia Lloyd McIntyre in the 79. Ashley Richardson worked their way up to 25th. Corbin FC continues to lead by the time we hit lap 16, but Ryan Faulkner was able to get away from Lucy Martin and finally recovers the second position from Becky Pellerin after measuring his move very intently. He rounds out into the tri-oval, and there you see battle for second, and Ryan Faulkner hits the stripe in the second position. And you see there, he now starts to chase the number 81. Is he going to be able to? We're going to have to see it. As you see there, Lloyd McIntyre running in the 23rd position, being chased now by the 20. Carly Allison, who misses the corner entry, tags the 79. And that is another caution, the second caution of the race. 19 laps in. We had an around 10 lap green flag run. Carly Allison completely blew the corner. Incredible. Never seen someone blow the corner that hard. Only 2 cars pit so far because no one would have the fuel to pit right now. So it's only Boyd Abbott and Lloyd McIntyre. And problems for Caitlin Richler. Problems for the number 2. What happened there? The number 2 is reporting multiple problems. All the gauges went red. When she parked, we realized that is a camshaft issue. The 2 bows out from the race. Just like the previous restart, the front row is Corbin Dempsey versus Ryan Faulkner. Last time around, Ryan Faulkner had the better restart. Can Corbin Dempsey actually not sleep on the clock right now? He does not. He actually gets the lead away as you see the field fanning out. Some drivers picking the apron like Thomas Tucker. As you see there on the restart, Lucy Barton actually finds the hole to make the move for second for the lead on the inside, side by side, as they come to the back straightaway. The 98 trying to get the 4th win of the season, trying to change the story of her season, be in the battle for the title, and with the top 2 out of the race, she can run up the table. She can actually be in a position to fight for this championship still, which is something that the 81, the 89, and the 27 who are right behind her do want to as well. Riley McKee could actually join the battle as well if he's able to pull a miraculous comeback. Corbin Dempsey running in second actually recovers the lead again on the outside. Actually has a very good run on the outside, which was a surprise. Becky Pellerin now battling with the 89 and the 98. And Ryan Faulkner again is going to set up a move on the inside of Lucy Barton's Bitter Pills 98. And there he goes, easy breezy, with Becky Pellerin to the inside. Megan McDonald, despite the damage, despite the big one, now battling for 10th place with Joey Anderson, Thomas Tucker right there in 9th place. Ronnie Samples has fallen a little bit behind. Scotty Overton has walked his way forward very slowly. By the time we get to lap number 29, Ryan Faulkner now chasing down the 81, trying to make something happen. Is it going to be enough? Doesn't look like it will, at least for the moment. But as the race goes on, we could see him gaining positions. As Kate Taylor now finds himself in the 5th position, trying to chase down Lucy Martin. But right behind him is Riley McKee and the 8 of Chris Benson. And I believe it's Lee Schmidt right there in the 8th position. Battle for the lead begins on lap number 31. We're just about a third of the way in. And there goes Ryan Faulkner to the inside. Enough? Nope. Not enough. Not enough just yet. Faulkner to the inside. Now he gets the nose ahead on the back straightaway, but he can't quite clear the 81. Rebecca Pellerin making the move on the inside. Trying to find a hole. Not enough just yet, but she gets to close the gap as Ryan Faulkner takes the lead of the race. And we're going to open lap number 32 of 100. And Lucy Barton chasing down the top 3, trying to make something happen. But by the time we get to the end of lap 32, Corbin Dempsey is going to do the run back. And that's payback. He gets back on the 1st position. Becky Pellerin just watching that battle intently, hoping maybe that something can happen and she can take lucky number 7 win. As you see there, as we are now a third of the way through lap 33 of 100, you see how the field has spread its wings and flown away. The top 3 has a very big gap. Then you see a big gap from the 03 to the 77. The field has just spread out, and we do hope at least that we get a calmer race after a very unusual big one on a 1.3 mile track. Battle for 12th places between Joey Anderson and Vernon Hargrove. Anderson makes a very clean move and he passes the 28. Thomas Tucker running in the 9th position, fighting with Ronnie Samples. Samples doing very well so far. We believe we might actually hear who is partnering with him next season. We actually started hearing about it as the field laps Dirk Williamson, that Ronnie Samples is actually gonna have a partner for next season, but we haven't heard who is gonna be that partner. He has told me that we should get more details in the next week. We will know it before the end of the season, before Talladega at the very least. He's just dotting some I's, crossing some T's, getting some contracts signed, getting some things ironed out so they can actually do the press release. You gotta remember, this team is very small. They do most of the things in-house. I think his daughter actually runs the social media of Sample Sports, which is very endearing, let me be honest, because they can do a very good job, and they have done a very good job this season, even though they have scored less points than last year. Corbin Dempsey running in second again. They keep swapping the lead positions, and there goes Corbin Dempsey to the inside. Enough? No, not yet. Turn 3, sets up the move. Is it gonna be enough? Make it smooth, make it quick, make it good. Beautiful pass for the lead. Becky Pellerin sees the space, sees the hole, makes the move at the stripe. She's second, makes the move for the lead. She's gonna try a double whammy on the inside at turn number 2. Is it enough? Not enough. Not enough. Corbin Dempsey gets to defend the lead of the race, as we are now 60 laps away from the checkered. Lucy Barton watching that battle from afar. She's hoping something happens. She's hoping they might crash. By the time they get to the end of that lap, by the time they get to the end of the turn number 2 on that lap, Corbin Dempsey has cleared the 89, the 89 has cleared the 27, and they now lap the 59 on Lucas Calhoun, who's running in 31st, and lap the 79 on Lloyd McIntyre, who's running in 30th. So now only 29 cars remain on the lead lap out of the 39 that started. 7 cars have retired from the race. We have 32 cars on track. And Ryan Faulkner on lap 43 makes the move for the lead. He's back in first place as Kay Taylor now lapping the 59, and he finds himself now battling with Chris Benson for the 5th position. Kay Taylor now gets slowed down by the 79, tags the 79 a little bit. Chris Benson, daring move, forces his way through, and Chris Benson is in 5th place. Lee Schmidt setting up the move, not enough. Sets up the move, but he can't quite catch there. Brett Finley now running in 16th place, battling with Scotty Overton, and Demi Barton, who despite the damage she got in the crash is running in 17th, which again, she's finishing ahead of Kendra Brittany. That's a very good result for her rookie challenge hopes. Just ahead of them is Ronnie Samples, Vernon Hargrove also having very good runs as the field laps the 69 of Pierre Johnson, the 63 of Chris Sendicott. And look at Becky Pellerin making the move on the inside. She tries to use the 63 as a pick, and she does it. Becky Pellerin is Canadian. Chris Endicott is also Canadian. What am I implying? I'm implying nothing because it's just a coincidence. There goes Becky Pellerin for 2nd place. As they start to chase down Ryan Faulkner, they lap the 99 of Boyd Abbott, whose engine is still giving up the ghost, but he's trying to finish it just to keep the points. He has had a very difficult last few weeks. He just wants to get one race in without any problem, and even that he can't do today. Corbin Dempsey trying to make a move on Becky, but not quite there. Lucy Barton actually catching both of them. And running in 5th place, I believe, is Lee Schmidt, but he is way too far to make a difference, at least for now, as we are approaching the halfway point of this race, and less cars remain on the lead lap, as you finally see there Corbin Dempsey making a move on the inside, and there he goes. And it's been pretty fun to see the 27 and the 81 battling in these types of races, in these shorter speedways, these tracks that are shorter than 1.5 miles and bigger than half a mile, because the 81 is 3 times 27, which is a very, very cute coincidence that happens sometimes. Mac Henley running in 15th, so a very good run for a guy that knows how to keep a damaged car in the running. You saw him yesterday night at Nashville at the fairgrounds, so he has done very well. The 89 now lapping the 33, the 20, and the 58, and Ashley Richardson after yesterday, I don't think I've ever seen her happier. She always keeps this silly persona, this very, very scary glare on the track, very serious, very well composed. She was giggling around like a child. I don't think I've ever seen her happier since, well, before the crash. And so, even on the radio communications, doesn't seem like she was very negatively moved by being involved in this big one. She's more frustrated that it was early than she was frustrated that she was involved. I think that's the thing that happens with a lot of these drivers, like the Peller is finally breaking through to win a national title, Richardson winning her first race in 6 years. There's just Thomas Tucker winning his first race back from rehab. It's the type of things that, like, it's a weight that goes off your shoulders. One guy that has that weight on him is Ryan Faulkner. He wants what he calls a legitimate win. He won on a rain delay at Dover this year. He won one of the duels last year. The duels were for points, but he wants a proper main event race like today, so he can say that he won a NAAC race, flag to flag, legitimate means. Which I think it's him being way too harsh on himself, but you never know what goes on the heads of these guys. Sometimes the guy just wants one win to call him his. It's something that Riley McKee also had when he won the Try Hard 500 in 2014 as a rookie, and he won in a rain delay finish. It took a few years until he could say that he actually got a legitimate win when he won a few years. No, it took a little bit less than a year when he won his second race at, if I believe it was Lime Rock in 2015. Becky Pellerin running in second place. Corbin Dempsey still running there. Dirk Williamson, problems for the number 30 as we approach 2/3 of the way in the engine. On the 30, finally gives up the ghost. He was running 32nd, last car running, done for the afternoon. A shame. And because we mentioned that we're almost 2/3 of the way through, that means we are approaching the time for the pit cycle, at least in terms of tire wear. So if people pit now, they could probably make it to the finish as is, but I think this is going to be a battle between who blinks first amongst the leaders. Ryan Faulkner continues to lead away. Corbin Dempsey trying to catch as they are now within vicinity of the 15 of Brett Finley, and as they lap Brett Finley, the top 15 are the only drivers on the lead lap. And on lap 67, Becky Pellerin is the first taker to go into the pits, and she kicks off the pit cycle here in Nashville. She comes in and she's going to try to undercut her opponents. Coming in with her is the 98 of Lucy Barton. And we believe a few more drivers are going to come around because the 25, the 43, and the 22 come in from 7th, 8th, and 9th. Then you have Thomas Tucker running in 10th place. He also comes in with the lap car of Carly Ellison that also comes in on the following lap, lap 68. It's time for the 89 and the 81, the top two to come in. With the back of the field, you see there how the tail end of the field is about to be lapped, and they only won't be lapped because the leaders pit. You see there how Scotty Overton lap car pits, the 97, the 18 also pit, the 34 running inside the top 15. One driver that hasn't pitted just yet by the time we get to lap number 68 is Allison Smith. Allison Smith is still on track, and you see she's gonna be right behind the 27 when Becky Pellerin merges out. Let's see how it is for Ryan Faulkner as he comes out of the pits. He's gonna round out turn number 2 with the 34 Omega McDonald right ahead of him. And as he comes out of the pits, Becky Pellerin is gonna come back out ahead of the 89 as he gets back up to speed, back into 4th gear. And Becky Pellerin's undercut idea has worked, but not for everyone. Lucy Barton was not able to close the gap. She ends up in 4th behind the 3rd place of Allison Smith, who's still out on track. And Barton's not gonna be able to catch the 89 of Ryan Faulkner unless something else happens. Allison Smith retains at least the 4th position as she gets passed by everyone before she herself pits. Corbin Dempsey running in 5th, and there you see the 200 going into pit road, and now Allison Smith finally takes her way into her box, while Vernon Hargrove running in 14th is going to be lapped by Ryan Faulkner under green still. So after the pit cycle, 30 laps to go, we now have 13 cars on the lead lap. Becky Pellerin now leads by a wide margin. You see there, that second car in the line behind Becky Pellerin, who's in the middle of your screen, is Ryan Faulkner. Right ahead of her is Joey Anderson, who's running in 13th place, about to be lapped. So we're going to have 12 cars on the lead lap sooner than later. Lucy Barton continues to run in 3rd place after Allison Smith pitted. Then you have Corbin Dempsey running in 4th, ways away behind. And so Corbin Dempsey lost a lot of in the pits, and that meant that the 98 was able to at least undercut him, but not undercut Ryan Faulkner. And the gap between the 98 and the 81 is so large that Kate Taylor, who also went for the undercut, was able to catch him on track, and now with 27 laps to go, he's right behind the 81 as Becky Pellerin laps the 03, who's running in 12th actually, and now we only have 11 cars on the lead lap. The 03 falls a lap down. He is at least finishing ahead right now of Tammy Barton and Kendra Brittany, so he stands to gain some in the Rookie Challenge standings, but so far not enough to make a dent or fight for it. As you see, Becky Pellerin lapping the 79 Lloyd McIntyre again. McIntyre brushing the wall on the exit of turn number 2 with only 24 laps to go. Kristen Young has to move to the inside, almost wipes out the 89 of Ryan Faulkner. We're gonna have to take a second look at that because it was much more dangerous from Faulkner's view. You see there, the 79 is on the wall, the 33 has to move away because the 79 is so slow, and the 89 almost tags her. That could have been much worse than what we actually got. And you see there how Ryan Faulkner is still having to catch the number 27. You see he laps the 200, who now falls a second lap down, and now Allison Smith's 21st place, battling with Lucas Calhoun. And that's mostly why. Whoa, up in smoke. The 200 up in smoke from 21st place. That's the third caution of the race. She's not gonna make it back to the pits. Catastrophic engine failure with only 19 laps to go actually. And this helps Ryan Faulkner immensely, because Becky Pellerin had just lapped Ruby Carson, who was in 11th place. That puts back 11 cars on the lead lap and places Ryan Faulkner right behind Becky Pellerin. Everyone has fuel to finish. Everyone has everything riding towards them in terms of fuel and tires. So now it's eye to eye for the race when green flags in the air with 14 laps to go. Becky Pellerin leads away, but Ryan Faulkner has a very good start. The field fans out once again, 2 and 3 wide. Riley McKee trying to make a move for 4th place. Lucy Barton takes 2nd place from Ryan Faulkner. Fantastic restart. Crash right on the rear end of the field. Ronnie Samples, Ethan Collins, Vern Hargrove. Multiple cars involved. Kristen Young involved again in another crash. Let's see what happened there. The field fanned out, and the 28 just ended up hooking the number 7 on the outside. Got involved himself. The 16 was having a solid run. A lot of damage on the front end of the 16 of Ethan Collins. The 26 of Kendra Brittany, already without a front end, also gets lightly involved into this mess. Big contact with under 15 laps to go. That's another caution, so we're gonna have an even shorter trophy dash for the win as it stands. You see there how Lucy Barton and Becky Pellerin make up the front row. Becky Pellerin leads. Kate Taylor running in 4th place. 5th place is Riley McKee. 3rd place is Ryan Faulkner. Corbin Dempsey drops to 6th place. Green flag is in the air, fanned out, and the field splits again. You see how Ronnie Samples is still running in the top 12, but he has a lot of damage, so he holds up a lot of the field. But if he stays in the lead lap, it's still fine. He only has 10 laps to go. He can deal with the damage. Barton has a very solid start as they come out to turn number 1, but Becky Pellerin fights back as they come out of turn number 2. They're side by side, dead heat for the lead. You see how the field splits away, and the top 3 just jumps out very far away. The 98 drops behind, loses a lot of time. Ryan Faulkner tries to make the move for the lead on the inside, side by side, as they close lap number 91. 9 laps remaining here in Nashville, and they're still in a dead heat, dead even. And Kate Taylor is gonna try to set up a move to try to protect his teammate, and that's gonna be enough. He holds back the 89, stems the tide a little bit. Corbin Dempsey takes 2nd place, and there goes Corbin Dempsey to 3rd place actually. Kate Taylor takes 2nd, Corbin Dempsey takes 3rd, and they're battling for the 2nd position. Kate Taylor running protection to a driver that he mentored when she was coming into the series together with her older brother. Their age difference only 3 years, which meant that Kate Taylor mentored both. Corbin Dempsey is able to free himself from Kate Taylor, but Ryan Faulkner is still running a lot of hardship, unable to make the move right now. He finally gets through on lap number 94, and then Lucy Barton at the end of the very same lap makes the move. Riley McKee coming about right behind the driver from Maryland, the Candyman, in the 25, trying to make something happen. They're getting a good result in his part-time runs of the season. Mac Henley still running in 13th place, battling there on track with his teammate Chris Benson, but Benson's on the lead lap. Henley's 1 lap now, but very solid, running in 13th place. Ruby Carson, the lifeline helped her a lot. She's now running in 10th place. Joey Anderson running in 11th. Brett Finley right there running well as well. Chris Benson battling with Thomas Tucker for the 9th position. Mac Haley playing a little bit of spoiler because he has slightly better tires. He saved that car much better, so they're on a 3 wide battling for position, but Haley actually punches the hole through. Chris Benson just lets him go and takes the 9th position. 4 laps to go, about to be 3. Becky Pellerin holding a fairly wide gap between her and Corbin Dempsey, but Ryan Faulkner catching Dempsey, trying to make something happen right there, and white flag is in the air. Becky Pellerin leads away, Corbin Dempsey catching, trying to make something happen. Is it gonna be enough? Doesn't look like it will be, and Corbin Dempsey now falling under attack from the 89. That allows Becky Pellerin to have a little breather. She has a little breather, she has a little bit of gap to work with as she leads the way, as they're gonna round out the final 2 corners here in Nashville. Becky Pellerin to show she's in the fight for the championship, about to get lucky number 7. Rebecca Pellerin is the winner. Rebecca Pellerin isolates herself as the biggest winner of the season by getting a 7th win. If she was more consistent, she would have been a much more scarier opponent this season, but when breaks like these present themselves, that's where a champion shows what they're made of. If she didn't take them, she wouldn't be in the position she is right now. Corbin Dempsey, Ryan Faulkner, and Lucy Martin end their days in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th after an afternoon-long battle with the 27, being the only drivers to even lead laps in this race. Lucy led 2, Rebecca led 30, Corbin led 33, Ryan led 35. Riley McKee hovered behind them the whole afternoon, but just didn't seem to have anything at all for them, and will settle for 5th place, while Lee Schmidt, Kate Taylor follow him. Chris Benson, who I would guess should possibly come under fire for his tap to Mega McDonald at the start, but to be honest, I couldn't even possibly see that as intentional or even reckless. He's gonna close his day out in 8th place, while Thomas Tucker and Ruby Carson end in the top 10. Right behind them, you don't see them on the table, Joey Anderson and Ronnie Samples are the last 2 drivers on the lead lap. Only 12 cars completed the race in the same lap of the leader because of that long green flag run. And I mentioned the brakes, how Becky used them to get lucky number 7. Couldn't be luckier than this. She is now in the championship lead for the first time in 2018. She hasn't touched the first position on the table since the end of last season when she won this title. The closest she got to top of the leaderboard was after the 2nd race in the Daytona doubleheader, where she was 8 points behind Corbin Dempsey. Now with Luke Pellerin and Charlie Faulkner not even completing the first lap of the race, this changes just about everything in the championship. If not that radically, when you look at the positions, you can see in the gaps, because now we have 5 drivers within 100 points off the leader. Ryan Faulkner is now 73 points behind. He started the weekend 111, but after Nashville, the fairgrounds race, he was down 151. He's now 73 behind. The effect that big one had in the season cannot and should never be understated. We might be talking about it after we wrap up Talladega, because the same also applies to Thomas Tucker, because he was 143 behind. He's now 92 back. And Corbin Dempsey was 186 behind. He's now 109. And even Lucy Martin, by the way, she began the weekend almost 400 points out of it, completely written off as a contender if we were using a realistic scale. She's now within 300 points. The armor has been breached. The siege has resulted in at least one wall of the castle breaking. Can Lucy Martin get into the castle and get into the battle? Does she have enough time? That's a question that does apply to the rest of the top 10 as well, because Riley McKee is now within 500 points. Lee Schmidt and Mac Hanley are almost inside that threshold. And that is it. These are your title contenders, because after this race, Ashley Richardson, Tammy Barton, Caitlin Richler bow out from mathematical eligibility. Now looking at the Rookie Challenge, things barely changed from yesterday night. Tammy Barton still leads, but Joey Anderson might actually find his way back into third next race, when we actually go back to a road course, provided everything goes well for him. However, Craig McLean also returns to the wheel of the 30 next time around, so this intra-team battle could get interesting to follow if, well, they are outside of the direct fight for the Rookie of the Year award. At least that battle might be fun to follow in this championship. In the Owners title battle, Dirk Williamson's failure and Kay Taylor's top 10 finish have put the 25 and 25th. However, the 03 remains well safe within the top 24. And as we mentioned, the next race is right up on his wheelhouse, meaning a good performance can essentially prevent him from being knocked out of the provisional for the rest of the year. But the more enticing prospect now is in that second column. Look at that. Ethan Collins, by finishing 30th despite all the damage, has put the 16 inside the top 32, and interestingly enough, exactly 200 points behind Overton Motorsports 23. So for the people not happy that the Drivers' Championship battle was unafflicted by the result of the Legacy Cup and the bonus points, we still got championship implications on the owner's side, and things are looking interesting by the second, since the next time the Challenge Series finds itself in action will be the final road course event of 2018, in one of its most traditional venues. We are gonna drive an elephant through a living room. We're going to the streets of Trois-Rivières, Quebec for the annual Argyle Grand Prix of Trois-Rivières. I'll see you next time.